Hello dear students, subscribe this channel and hit the bell icon. Part 2, short summary and questions and answers from the textbook. An Astrologer's Day by R.K. Narayan, Class 11, New Course. Short summary. This short story, An Astrologer's Day, has been written by a renowned Indian writer R.K. Narayan. यो संक्षिप्त कथा एकजना ज्योतिषीको दिन एकजना प्रसिद्ध भारतीय लेखक R.K. नारायणद्वारा लेखिएको हो. This story has presented a fine blend of suspense and surprise. कथाले अनिश्चितता र आश्चर्यको एक राम्रो मिश्रण प्रस्तुत गरेको छ. This story had been published in the year 1947. यो कथा सन् 1947 मा प्रकाशित भएको थियो. This story has a setting of Malgudi, a town near South India, Madras. यस कथाको परिवेश अर्थात् माहौल दक्षिण भारत नजिक मद्रासको एक सानो सहर मालगुडीको छ. The main character of this story is an astrologer who is unnamed. यस कथाको मुख्य पात्र एकजना ज्योतिषी हो जो नामविहीन छ. This story begins with the description of this astrologer who sits under a tamarind tree of Town Hall Road and sells his prophecies to the gullible people. यस कथाको सुरुवात यो ज्योतिषीको वर्णनसँगै हुन्छ जो टाउन होल सडकको एक इमलीको रुखमुनि बस्दछ र सोझा मानिसहरूलाई आफ्ना भविष्यवाणीहरू बेच्दछ. He decorates his business in a fine manner, placing cowrie cells, mystic astrological charts, palmyara writings, etc. ऊ उचित ढङ्गले कौडी शङ्खहरू, आध्यात्मिक ज्योतिष विषयसँग सम्बन्धित मानचित्रहरू, पामयारा लेखहरू अर्थात् पाम रुखका काठ अथवा पातहरूमा लेखिएका लेखहरू इत्यादि राखेर आफ्नो व्यवसायको सजावट गर्दछ. He presents himself perfectly using sacred ash and vermilion on his forehead. ऊ पवित्र खरानी र चम्किलो रातो सिन्दूरको प्रयोग आफ्नो निधारमा गरी आफूलाई पूर्ण रूपले प्रस्तुत गर्दछ. His dress and saffron turban present him as a wise astrologer. उसको लुगा र पहिलो पगडी उसलाई एक ज्ञानी ज्योतिषीको रूपमा प्रस्तुत गर्दछ. Actually, he is a fake astrologer who is quite good in making shrewd calculations of people. वास्तवमा ऊ एक बेइमान ज्योतिषी हो जो मानिसहरूको लेखाजोखाहरू चलाखी साथ गर्नमा निकै राम्रो छ. He works hard in his guesswork to satisfy his customers. ऊ आफ्ना ग्राहकहरूलाई सन्तुष्ट पार्न आफ्नो अनुमान कार्यमा कडा मेहनत गर्दछ. One day he meets Guru Nanak during evening time. एक दिन ऊ गुरु नायकलाई साँझको समयमा भेट्दछ. Guru Nanak demands satisfactory answer from the astrologer. गुरु नायक ज्योतिषीबाट सन्तुष्टजनक उत्तरको माग गर्दछ. Guru Nanak puts up a bid and promises to provide 1 rupee to the astrologer. गुरु नायक एक शर्त राख्दछ र ज्योतिषीलाई 1 रुपैयाँ दिने वाचा गर्दछ. Guru Nanak doesn't recognize the astrologer in the evening time. गुरु नायक साँझको समयमा ज्योतिषीलाई चिन्दैन. The astrologer tells various facts to Guru Nanak. ज्योतिषी गुरु नायकलाई अनेकौं तथ्यहरू भन्दछ. He relates about his past incident, his name and address, the death of the culprit. ऊ गुरु नायकको विगतको घटना, उसको नाम र ठेगाना र दोषीको मृत्युबारे बताउँछ. Finally, the astrologer advises him to return his hometown immediately for his safety. अन्त्यमा ज्योतिषी गुरु नायकको सुरक्षाका लागि उसलाई तुरुन्तै आफ्नो गृहनगरी फिर्ता जान सुझाव दिन्छ. The astrologer gets 12.5 annas from Guru Nanak. ज्योतिषी गुरु नायकबाट 12.5 आनाहरू प्राप्त गर्दछ. At home, the astrologer reveals his past event to his wife. घरमा ज्योतिषी आफ्नो श्रीमतीलाई आफ्नो विगतको घटनाको खुलासा गर्दछ. The astrologer himself had attacked Guru Nanak in his past. ज्योतिषी स्वयंले विगतमा गुरु नायकलाई आक्रमण गरेको थियो. He has spent his many years away from his native place due to the fear of murder. उसले हत्याको डरले गर्दा आफ्नो गाउँभन्दा धेरै टाढा आफ्ना वर्षहरू बिताएको छ. But after convincing Guru Nanak, he feels quite good to be free from the burden of his life. तर गुरु नायकलाई विश्वास दिलाइसके पश्चात ऊ आफ्नो जीवनको बोझबाट मुक्त हुँदा निकै राम्रो महसुस गर्दछ. Important questions and answers from the textbook. Question number 1. How does the astrologer's appearance help him attract customers? कसरी ज्योतिषीको रूपले उसलाई ग्राहकहरू आकर्षित गर्न मद्दत गर्दछ? How does he help the customers satisfy their needs? कसरी ऊ ग्राहकहरूलाई तिनीहरूको आवश्यकताहरूमा सन्तुष्ट पार्न मद्दत गर्दछ? And the answer is, the astrologer here in this story is a shrewd person. यहाँ यस कथाको ज्योतिषी एक चतुर व्यक्ति हो. He always makes his fine preparations before starting his business. ऊ सधैँ आफ्नो व्यवसाय सुरु गर्नु अघि राम्रो तयारीहरू गर्दछ. He decorates his business placing various tools of astrology as cowries cells, mystic astrological charts, palmyra writings, etc. on his square piece of cloth. ऊ आफ्नो व्यवसाय अनेकौं ज्योतिष शास्त्रका औजारहरू जस्तै कौडी शङ्खहरू, आध्यात्मिक ज्योतिष शास्त्रसँग सम्बन्धित मानचित्रहरू, पामयारा लेखहरू इत्यादि आफ्नो वर्गाकार कपडामा राखी सजाउँछ. He puts sacred ash and vermilion on his forehead and a saffron turban on his head. ऊ आफ्नो निधारमा पवित्र खरानी र चम्किलो सिन्दूर लगाउँछ र टाउकोमा एउटा पहेँलो रङको पगडी अर्थात् फेटा लगाउँछ. His eyes always seem sparkling due to his fine makeup over his face. उसका आँखाहरू उसको अनुहारको राम्रो श्रृङ्गारले गर्दा सधैँ चम्किरहेका देखिन्छन्. His eyes are continuously searching for his customers. उसका आँखाहरू निरन्तर रूपले उसका ग्राहकहरूलाई खोजिरहेका हुन्छन्. He dresses just like an astrologer. ऊ एक ज्योतिषी जस्तै पहिरन लगाउँछ. His appearance helps him to present himself as a professional astrologer. उसको रूपले उसलाई एक पेशागत ज्योतिषीको रूपमा प्रस्तुत हुन मद्दत गर्दछ. Due to his attractive appearance, most of the customers believe him and come to him to hear his prophecies. उसको आकर्षक रूपले गर्दा धेरैजसो ग्राहकहरू उसलाई विश्वास गर्दछन् र उसका भविष्यवाणीहरू सुन्न भनी ऊ कहाँ आउँछन्. He helps his customers through making possible guesses related to their past, present and future life, relationships, marriage, money, troubles, etc. ऊ आफ्ना ग्राहकहरूलाई तिनीहरूको विगत, वर्तमान र भविष्यको जीवन, नाता सम्बन्धहरू, विवाह, पैसा, समस्याहरू इत्यादिको सम्भाव्य अनुमानहरू बनाउने कार्य मार्फत मद्दत गर्दछ. He listens to the problems of his customers for 10 minutes. ऊ आफ्ना ग्राहकहरूको समस्याहरूलाई 10 मिनेटसम्म सुन्दछ. He gets many clues within 5 minutes and asks them questions. ऊ 5 मिनेट भित्रमा धेरै सुरागहरू प्राप्त गर्दछ र तिनीहरूलाई प्रश्नहरू राख्दछ. He contemplates over the issues and makes guesswork. ऊ मुद्दाहरूमाथि मनन अर्थात् सोच विचार गर्दछ र अनुमान कार्य बनाउने गर्दछ. Due to his long time practice and experience, he always tries his best to make matching guesses and helps his customers satisfy their needs. उसको लामो समयको अनुभव र अभ्यासका कारण ऊ सधैँ मिल्दो अनुमानहरू बनाउने आफ्नो उत्तम प्रयास गर्दछ र आफ्ना ग्राहकहरूलाई तिनीहरूको आवश्यकताहरूमा सन्तुष्ट पार्न मद्दत गर्दछ. Question number 2. How do you characterize the astrologer's attitude toward the stranger? तपाई कसरी ज्योतिषीको अपरिचित व्यक्तिप्रतिको आचरणलाई चरित्र चित्रण गर्नुहुन्छ? And the answer is, here the astrologer's business of astrology provides him wages to run his family smoothly. यहाँ ज्योतिषीको ज्योतिष व्यवसायले उसलाई आफ्नो परिवार आरामले चलाउन ज्यालाहरू उपलब्ध गराउँछ. He starts his business during midday and works so hard using his smart mind to earn money. ऊ मध्यदिनको समयमा आफ्नो व्यवसाय सुरु गर्दछ र पैसा कमाउन आफ्नो चतुर दिमागको प्रयोग गरी कडा मेहनत गर्दछ। His presentation is highly appreciating. उसको प्रस्तुतिकरण उच्च कदर योग्य छ। He makes his guests work perfectly to satisfy his customers. ऊ आफ्ना ग्राहकहरूलाई सन्तुष्ट पार्न आफ्नो अनुमान कार्य पूर्ण रूपले बनाउँछ। When he sees the stranger standing in front of him, he thinks him as his prospective customer. जब ऊ अपरिचित व्यक्तिलाई आफ्नो अघि उभिरहेको देख्दछ, ऊ उसलाई आफ्नो सम्भाव्य ग्राहक भनी ठान्दछ। During closing time, he invites him instead of moving to his house. बन्द गर्ने समयतिर ऊ घर जानु सट्टा अपरिचित व्यक्तिलाई आमन्त्रित गर्दछ। This shows his greedy attitude. यसले उसको लोभी आचरण देखाउँछ। The way he bargains with the stranger has proved his money-minded concept. जुन तरिकाले ऊ अपरिचित व्यक्तिसँग मोलतोल गर्दछ, यसले उसको पैसा सोचको धारणालाई प्रमाणित गरेको छ। He tries his best to convince the stranger for the sake of money. ऊ पैसाका निम्ति अपरिचित व्यक्तिलाई विश्वास दिलाउने आफ्नो एकदमै राम्रो प्रयास गर्दछ। He doesn't know about astrology, but he tries to satisfy the customer through his guesswork for the sake of money only. उसलाई ज्योतिष शास्त्र बारे आउँदैन, तर ऊ केवल पैसाका लागि अपरिचित व्यक्तिलाई आफ्नो अनुमान कार्य मार्फत सन्तुष्ट पार्ने प्रयास गर्दछ। Next, his acts of convincing the stranger also shows his fake attitude. अर्को उसको अपरिचित व्यक्तिलाई विश्वास दिलाउने कार्यहरूले पनि उसको बेइमान अर्थात् जाली आचरण देखाउँछ। He advises the stranger to move his hometown immediately. ऊ अपरिचित व्यक्तिलाई तुरुन्तै उसको गृहनगरी लाग्न भनी सुझाव दिन्छ। This shows his shrewdness and hypocrisy in his attitude. यसले उसको आचरणमा चालाखीपन र कपटहरू देखाउँछ। Question number 3. What details does the astrologer give the stranger about his past? ज्योतिषी अपरिचित व्यक्तिलाई उसको विगत बारे कस्ता विवरणहरू दिन्छ? And the answer is, the astrologer gives the strange various shocking past events details of his life. ज्योतिषी अपरिचित व्यक्तिलाई उसको जीवनको विगतका अचम्म लाग्दा घटनाहरूको विवरण दिन्छ। He tells the stranger various things accurately because he has got a chance to see his face. ऊ अपरिचित व्यक्तिलाई अनेकौं कुराहरू एकदमै ठीकसँग भन्दछ किनकि उसले उसको अनुहार हेर्ने एक अवसर प्राप्त गरेको हुन्छ। The astrologer recognizes him when the stranger lights up his cigarette. ज्योतिषी उसलाई चिन्दछ जब अपरिचित व्यक्ति आफ्नो सिगार जलाउँछ। Due to the darkness as well as his makeup, Guru Nanak isn't able to recognize the astrologer. अँध्यारो साथै उसको श्रृंगारले गर्दा गुरु नायक उसलाई चिन्न सक्षम हुँदैन। The astrologer relates him about his past events, saying that he had been attacked by an unknown person with a knife on his chest. ज्योतिषी उसको विगतको बारेमा उसलाई एउटा छुराले अज्ञात व्यक्तिद्वारा छातीमा प्रहार गरिएको थियो भनी बताउँछ। He tells him about his pitiable condition inside the well. ऊ इनारभित्रको उसको दयनीय अवस्थाबारे बताउँछ। He even tells him his name and address. ऊ उसको नाम र ठेगाना समेत भन्दछ। He informs him about culprit's death 4 months ago. ऊ 4 महिना अघि दोषीको मृत्यु भएको बारेमा समेत उसलाई सूचित गर्दछ। Finally, the astrologer advises him very tactfully to move to his hometown immediately for the safety of his life. अन्त्यमा ज्योतिषी अति नै चतुराईका साथ उसको जीवनको सुरक्षाका लागि उसले तुरुन्तै उसको गृहनगरीतिर लाग्नुपर्ने सुझाव दिन्छ। Question number 4. Why does he advise the stranger to go home immediately? किन ऊ अपरिचित व्यक्तिलाई तुरुन्तै घर जान सुझाव दिन्छ? And the answer is, the astrologer is a very clever person in his profession. ज्योतिषी आफ्नो व्यवसायमा एक निकै चलाक व्यक्ति हो। In his past, he had even involved himself in the criminal act. उसको विगतमा उसले आफूलाई आपराधिक क्रियाकलापमा समेत सामेल गरेको थियो। The stranger whom he meets during the evening time is a criminal named Guru Nanak. अपरिचित व्यक्ति जसलाई ऊ साँझको समयमा भेट्छ एकजना गुरु नायक नामक अपराधी हो। When the astrologer realizes the person as Guru Nayak, he tries to erase his mental burden. जब ज्योतिषीलाई व्यक्ति गुरु नायक हो भन्ने आभास हुन्छ, ऊ आफ्नो मानसिक बोझ हटाउने प्रयास गर्दछ. The astrologer himself was the person who had tried to kill Guru Nayak in his past. ज्योतिषी स्वयं त्यो व्यक्ति थियो जसले विगतमा गुरु नायकलाई मार्ने प्रयास गरेको थियो. Seeing Guru Nayak in Malgudi, he trembles with fear. गुरु नायकलाई मालगुडीमा देख्दा ऊ डरले काम्छ. When he knows Guru Nayak's intention, he tries his best to move him back to the north. जब ऊ गुरु नायकको मनसाय थाहा पाउँछ, ऊ उसलाई उत्तर फिर्ता पठाउन आफ्नो एकदमै राम्रो प्रयास गर्दछ. He doesn't want to face Guru Nayak in his life again. ऊ गुरु नायकको सामना पुनः आफ्नो जीवनमा गर्न चाहदैन. He wants to live fearless life in Malgudi. ऊ मालगुडीमा डरविहीन जीवन जिउन चाहन्छ. He tells about possible dangers in stranger's life and advises him to go home immediately. ऊ अपरिचित व्यक्तिको जीवनमा सम्भाव्य खतराहरूबारे भन्दछ र उसलाई तुरुन्तै घर जान सुझाव दिन्छ. Question number 5. What is your reaction to the conversation between the astrologer and his wife? ज्योतिषी र उसको श्रीमती बीचको वार्तालापमा तपाईको के प्रतिक्रिया छ? And the answer is, I really feel happy to know about the end of astrologer's mental burden of his life through their conversation. म वास्तवमा तिनीहरूको वार्तालाप मार्फत ज्योतिषीको जीवनको मानसिक बोझको अन्त्यबारे थाहा पाउँदा खुशी महसुस गर्दछु. The astrologer felt himself guilty of murdering Guru Nayak. ज्योतिषी आफूलाई गुरु नायकको हत्या गरेको भनी दोषी ठान्दथ्यो. Due to the fear, he had even left his village and settled his life in Malgudi. डरले गर्दा उसले आफ्नो गाउँ समेत छाडेको थियो र आफ्नो जीवन मालगुडीमा बसाएको थियो. But he found Guru Nayak alive. तर उसले गुरु नायकलाई जीवित भेटायो. He realized that he wasn't a murderer. उसलाई ऊ एउटा हत्यारा थिएन भनी आभास भयो. He even advised him not to return to the south. उसले उसलाई दक्षिणतिर फिर्ता नहुनु भनी सुझाव समेत दियो. The astrologer finally got rid of his terrible burden. ज्योतिषीले अन्तिममा आफ्नो डरलाग्दो बोझबाट छुटकारा पायो. Next, I feel a little upset to know about their pitiable economic status. अर्को म तिनीहरूको दयनीय आर्थिक अवस्थाबारे थाहा पाउँदा हल्का उदास हुन्छु. To get 12.5 annas, astrologer's wife planned to buy jaggery and coconut to prepare sweet for their daughter. 12.5 आनाहरू प्राप्त गर्दा ज्योतिषीको श्रीमतीले गुड र नारियल तिनीहरूको छोरीका निम्ति मिठाई बनाउन किन्ने योजना बनाइन्. Their daughter was demanding sweets for a long time. तिनीहरूकी छोरी एक लामो समयदेखि मिठाईहरूको माग गरिरहेकी थिइन्. This shows the obligation of the family where a single daughter's simple wish remained pending for a long time due to the lack of money. यसले परिवारको बाध्यता देखाउँछ जहाँ एकजना छोरीको सामान्य इच्छा लामो समयसम्म पैसाको कमीले गर्दा थातिरह्यो. Question number 6. Suspense is the feeling of anticipation you may have as you read. अनिश्चितता लगाउको भावना हो जस्तै तपाई पढ्नुहुन्छ तपाईलाई हुन सक्छ. In this story, what details contributed to your feelings of suspense and surprise? Explain. यस कथामा कुन विवरणहरूले तपाईको अनिश्चितता र आश्चर्यको भावनाहरूलाई योगदान दियो? व्याख्या गर्नुहोस्. And the answer is, this short story is a fine blend of suspense and surprise. यो संक्षिप्त कथा अनिश्चितता र आश्चर्यको एक राम्रो मिश्रण हो. The story starts with the description of the astrologer and his business. कथा ज्योतिषीको र उसको व्यवसायको वर्णनसँगै सुरु हुन्छ. When the stranger appears during evening time in front of the astrologer thinks him as his prospective customer. जब अपरिचित व्यक्ति ज्योतिषीको अघि साँझतिर देखा पर्छ, ज्योतिषी उसलाई आफ्नो सम्भाव्य ग्राहक भनी ठान्दछ. They make a bet on the satisfactory answer. तिनीहरू सन्तुष्टजनक उत्तरमा एक शर्त लगाउँछन्. The astrologer provides him with various facts related to his life during his prophecies. ज्योतिषी आफ्नो भविष्यवाणीहरू दिने समयमा उसलाई उसको जीवनसँग सम्बन्धित अनेकौं तथ्यहरू उपलब्ध गराउँछ. He tells him about his past events, his name and address accurately. ऊ उसलाई उसको विगतका घटनाहरू, उसको नाम र ठेगाना सही हिसाबले भन्दछ। Here these accurate details have created feelings of suspense for me. यहाँ यी सही विवरणहरूले मेरो लागि अनिश्चितताको भावनाहरूको सिर्जना गरेको छ। The stranger becomes too excited and satisfied, but I feel a kind of suspense. अपरिचित व्यक्ति अत्यधिक उत्तेजित र सन्तुष्ट हुन्छ, तर म एक प्रकारको अनिश्चितताको महसुस गर्दछु। A question arises in my mind as how did he answer accurately? एउटा प्रश्न मेरो दिमागमा उठ्दछ, जस्तै उसले कसरी सही हिसाबले उत्तर दियो। This particular suspense turns into surprise when the astrologer relates his past stories details to his wife after dinner. यो विशेष अनिश्चितता आश्चर्यमा बदलिन्छ जब ज्योतिषी साँझको खाना खाइसके पश्चात आफ्नो श्रीमतीलाई आफ्नो विगतको कथाको विवरणहरू बताउँछ। Here I find answer of my feelings of suspense. यहाँ म मेरा अनिश्चितताका भावनाहरूको उत्तर भेटाउँछु। Astrologers' past stories details have solved the mystery of suspense and created surprises for me as well as all the readers. ज्योतिषीको विगत कथाको विवरणहरूले अनिश्चितताको रहस्यको समाधान गरेको छ र मेरो तथा पाठकहरूको लागि आश्चर्यहरूको सिर्जना गरेको छ। Question number 7. Analyze the conflicts in an astrologer's day. एकजना ज्योतिषीको दिनमा द्वन्द्वहरूको विश्लेषण गर्नुहोस्। Explain how the conflicts are resolved and what they reveal about the characters involved in the story. कसरी द्वन्द्वहरू समाधान हुन्छन् र कथामा सामेल पात्रहरूका बारेमा द्वन्द्वहरूले के खुलासा गर्दछ, व्याख्या गर्नुहोस्। And the answer is the conflicts which we find here in this story are related to the astrologer and the man. द्वन्द्वहरू जुन हामीहरू यस पाठमा भेटाउँछौं ज्योतिषी र मान्छेसँग सम्बन्धित छन्। Here the astrologer has a hidden burden in his life. यहाँ ज्योतिषीको आफ्नो जीवनमा एक लुकेको बोझ छ। He thinks himself guilty of murdering Guru Nanak many years before. ऊ स्वयंलाई धेरै सालहरू पहिले गुरु नायकको हत्या गरेको भनी दोषी ठान्दछ। His inner conflict is seen here. यहाँ उसको आन्तरिक अर्थात् भित्री द्वन्द्व देखिन्छ। His inner conflict is resolved when he meets Guru Nanak alive in front of his eyes. उसको भित्री द्वन्द्व समाधान हुन्छ जब ऊ गुरु नायकलाई आफ्नो आँखाहरू अघि जीवित देख्दछ। He feels happy and satisfied to realize that he isn't a murderer. ऊ आफू एक हत्यारा होइन भनी थाहा पाउँदा खुशी र सन्तुष्टि महसुस गर्दछ। He overcomes over his hidden conflict. ऊ आफ्नो लुकेको द्वन्द्वमाथि सफलता प्राप्त गर्दछ। He gets benefited from Guru Nanak too by satisfying him. ऊ गुरु नायकलाई सन्तुष्ट पारी ऊद्वारा लाभान्वित पनि हुन्छ। He becomes successful to erase his fear. ऊ आफ्नो डर हटाउन सफल बन्दछ। The next conflict is seen within the man. अर्को द्वन्द्व मान्छेमा देखिन्छ। He wants to find the culprit and take revenge. ऊ दोषीलाई खोज्न र बदला लिन चाहन्छ। After his recovery, he keeps on searching for the culprit. उसको स्वास्थ्य लाभ भइसके पश्चात ऊ दोषीको खोजी गरि नै राख्दछ। His conflict is resolved when he gets information about the death of culprit through astrologer. उसको द्वन्द्वको समाधान हुन्छ जब ऊ ज्योतिषी मार्फत दोषीको मृत्युबारे सूचना पाउँदछ। He is sent back with satisfaction. उसलाई सन्तुष्टि साथ फिर्ता पठाइन्छ। Their conflicts reveal that both of them are criminals. तिनीहरूका द्वन्द्वहरूले दुवैजना अपराधीहरू हुन् भन्ने खुलासा गर्दछ। Both of them had a very bad past. दुवैजनाको एक धेरै नराम्रो विगत थियो। Both of them are victims of their conflicts. दुवैजना तिनीहरूका द्वन्द्वहरूका पीडितहरू हुन्। The astrologer had left his village and spent his life in Malgudi with the mental burden of murdering Guru Nanak. ज्योतिषीले आफ्नो गाउँ छाडेको र मालगुडीमा गुरु नायकको हत्याको एक मानसिक बोझ बोकी आफ्नो जीवन बिताएको थियो। On the other hand, Guru Nanak also suffered a lot due to the conflict. अर्कोतिर गुरु नायक पनि द्वन्द्वले गर्दा ज्यादै पीडित भयो। He kept on searching the culprit after his incident. ऊ आफ्नो घटनापछि दोषीलाई खोजी नै रह्यो। In the story. Question number 8. Description helps readers visualize what is happening in a story. वर्णनले पाठकहरूलाई एक कथामा के भइरहेको छ भन्ने कुराको दृश्यमान गराउँछ. What details and techniques does the author use to describe the astrologer? लेखक ज्योतिषीको वर्णन गर्न के कस्ता विवरणहरू र तकनिकहरूको प्रयोग गर्नुहुन्छ? And the answer is, the author of this story uses various details and narrative technique to describe the main character who is an astrologer. यस कथाका लेखक अनेकौं विवरणहरू र वाचन तकनिकको प्रयोग मुख्य पात्रको वर्णन गर्न प्रयोग गर्नुहुन्छ जो एक ज्योतिषी हो. From beginning to the end, the author keeps on presenting this story using various details through his narration. कथाको सुरुवातदेखि अन्त्यसम्म लेखक आफ्नो संवाद मार्फत अनेकौं विवरणहरूको प्रयोग गरी यो कथा प्रस्तुत गरिराख्नुहुन्छ. He relates about astrologer's background, his everyday business, and his shrewd calculations with his customers, his preparations before business, his meeting with Guru Nanak, and conversation with his wife. वहाँ ज्योतिषीको पृष्ठभूमि, उसको प्रत्येक दिनको व्यवसाय र उसका ग्राहकहरूसँगका चतुर लेखाजोखाहरू, उसका व्यवसाय पूर्व गरिएका तयारीहरू, उसको गुरु नायकसँगको भेट र उसको श्रीमतीसँगको वार्तालाप बारेमा बताउनुहुन्छ. The author has presented every detail of astrologer, creating suspense and surprises through his narrative technique. लेखकले ज्योतिषीलाई आफ्नो वाचन तकनिक मार्फत अनिश्चितता र आश्चर्य सृजना गर्दै प्रत्येक विवरण प्रस्तुत गर्नु भएको छ. Question number 9. Irony is a contrast between appearances and reality. व्यङ्ग आकृतिहरू र वास्तविकता बीचको एक भिन्नता हो. What is ironic about Guru Nanak's meeting with the astrologer? गुरु नायकको ज्योतिषीसँगको भेटका बारेमा के व्यङ्ग छ? And the answer is, the meeting of Guru Nanak and the astrologer seems quite ironic. गुरु नायक र ज्योतिषीको भेट निकै व्यङ्ग्यात्मक देखिन्छ. Here we find Guru Nanak asking the astrologer about the culprit who once had stabbed him with a knife on his chest. यहाँ हामीहरू गुरु नायक ज्योतिषीलाई दोषीको बारेमा सोधिरहेको भेटाउँछौं जसले एकपल्ट उसको छातीमा एउटा छुरा घोपेको थियो. He doesn't know the culprit himself is the astrologer. उसलाई दोषी स्वयं ज्योतिषी नै हो भन्ने थाहा हुँदैन. Due to the darkness and the astrologer's get-up, Guru Nanak is unable to recognize him. अँध्यारो र ज्योतिषीको श्रृङ्गारले गर्दा गुरु नायक उसलाई चिन्न असक्षम हुन्छ. The lifelong burden for the astrologer is the murder of Guru Nanak. ज्योतिषीको जीवनभरिको बोझ गुरु नायकको हत्या हो. He feels quite surprised to find Guru Nanak alive. ऊ गुरु नायकलाई जीवित भेटाउँदा निकै अचम्मित हुन्छ. The information of culprit makes Guru Nanak feel satisfaction. दोषीको सूचनाले गुरु नायकलाई सन्तुष्ट महसुस गर्ने बनाउँछ. The shrewdness of the astrologer is very ironical. ज्योतिषीको चलाखी निकै व्यङ्ग्यपूर्ण छ. Here the victim comes to the culprit to find the right solution. यहाँ पीडित दोषी कहाँ सही समाधान खोज्न भनी आउँछ. Finally, Guru Nanak feels good to hear prophecies of the astrologer or culprit. अन्त्यमा गुरु नायक ज्योतिषीको भविष्यवाणीहरू सुन्दा निकै राम्रो महसुस गर्दछ. Here both characters feel good at last. यहाँ दुवैजना पात्रहरू अन्त्यमा राम्रो महसुस गर्दछन्. Question number 10. How does the astrologer's manner of dress suit his character? ज्योतिषीको लुगा लगाउने तरिका उसको चरित्रलाई कसरी सुहाउने बनाउँदछ? And the answer is, the main character here in this story is an astrologer. यस कथाको मुख्य पात्र एकजना ज्योतिषी हो. His business of astrology depends on his astrological tools, his dressing sense and his guessworks. उसको ज्योतिष शास्त्रको व्यवसाय, उसको ज्योतिष विज्ञानका औजारहरू, उसको लुगाको सोच र उसको अनुमान कार्यहरूमा निर्भर गर्दछ. His manner of dress suits his character. उसको लुगा लगाउने तरिका उसको चरित्रलाई सुहाउँछ. He is quite clever at his business of astrology. ऊ आफ्नो ज्योतिष शास्त्रको व्यवसायमा निकै चालाक छ. As an astrologer, he dresses perfectly like an astrologer. एक ज्योतिषीको रूपमा ऊ एक ज्योतिषी जस्तै पूर्ण रूपले लुगा लगाउँछ. His saffron turban and his dress help him a lot to attract his customers. उसको पहिलो पगडी र उसको लुगा उसलाई ग्राहकहरू आकर्षित गर्न ज्यादै मद्दत गर्छन्. He finally presents himself so that his customer can believe him. ऊ आफूलाई राम्ररी प्रस्तुत गर्दछ ताकि उसका ग्राहकहरू उसको विश्वास गर्न सकुन्. Due to his dressing sense, his clients think him as a wise astrologer. उसको लुगा लगाउने तरिकाले उसका ग्राहकहरू उसलाई एक ज्ञानी ज्योतिषी ठान्दछन्. Question number 11. Is astrology a good practice of fortune telling or is it just blind faith? Give reason. के ज्योतिष शास्त्र भविष्य बताउने एक सही अभ्यास हो वा यो केवल अन्धविश्वास मात्र हो? कारण दिनुहोस्. And the answer is yes, astrology is a good practice of fortune telling. हो, ज्योतिष शास्त्र भविष्य बताउने एक राम्रो अभ्यास हो. In Eastern societies, most of the people practice and believe in fortune telling. पूर्वीय समाजहरूमा धेरैजसो मानिसहरू भविष्य बताउने कार्यको अभ्यास र विश्वास गर्दछन्. Astrology is supposed to be the best part of human life. ज्योतिष शास्त्र मानव जीवनको सबैभन्दा राम्रो अंश मानिन्छ. The practice of astrology is seen in various events of life. ज्योतिष शास्त्रको अभ्यास जीवनको अनेकौं घटनाहरूमा गरिएको देखिन्छ. People believe in astrology much in Eastern societies. पूर्वीय समाजहरूमा मानिसहरू ज्योतिष शास्त्रमा ज्यादा विश्वास गर्दछन्. People find out right solutions of their problems through astrology. ज्योतिष शास्त्र मार्फत मानिसहरू तिनीहरूका समस्याहरूको सही समाधानहरू प्राप्त गर्दछन्. Astrological prophecies turn out to be right in many cases. धेरैजसो मुद्दाहरूमा ज्योतिष शास्त्रसँग सम्बन्धित भविष्यवाणीहरू सही हुन आउँछन्.